channel. This is actually the first video I've ever filmed, and today I'm going to show you guys how I personally make my Weight Watchers 0-point soup. So here are all the ingredients I'm going to use. We start out with this 50% less sodium beef broth. I've used chicken broth in the past, but I feel like beef broth just tastes better. If you want to make this vegetarian or vegan, whatever it may be, you can always use vegetable broth, of course. This is just my personal preference. Of course, cabbage, because I like to think of this as more of a cabbage soup type deal. An onion, some green beans, you can use fresh if you want, I just want to make my life easier, a zucchini, some carrots, celery, and yeah, I actually got most of the ingredients, or maybe not, but most of it at the 99-cent store. I got the cabbage at the 99-cent store, and the green beans and the carrots. Everything else was from Ralph's or from Kroger, wherever it may be. So let's go ahead and start chopping these up. One very important and tasty ingredient is some tomato paste. I bought this can of tomato paste a couple weeks back, and since this recipe only calls for about a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of it, I didn't want to buy a whole can and toss it, so I just put some in this little Tupperware, and I just use it every week. And yeah, so pretty important part. So step one is go ahead and obviously turn on your stove. Get this going. I'm going to add some of this organic Pam extra virgin olive oil, and I'm going to put onions and garlic in there, so I just kind of spray the pan at the bottom. Beautiful. And I'm going to add chopped onion, and I already have my minced garlic in a little jar, which I'll show you in just a second. So get those, kind of start stir frying them, and I'll show you guys how that. Alright, so now I'm going to add about I'll say a tablespoon of garlic. My pan's a little hot. Start adding my onions in there. I only ended up putting half an onion just because I'm going to use the other half of the onion to make some ground turkey for part of my meal prep. Let me get a spoon here. Start stirring that around. I turned down the heat, but with an electric stove, I'm sure those of you that have one know the struggle. It just stays hot, but it is what it is. I'm also going to go ahead and add half of this Peter Rabbit Farms carrot chips, about half the bag, and add those in there and start stir frying those up as well. Got those in there. I'm going to let them saute for maybe a good 5 minutes. 3 to 5 minutes, just until the onions turn translucent, and just looks like it's ready for some broth. Okay, so now that the onions are a little translucent and caramelized, yum, let's go ahead and add the beef broth. So each of these containers has 4 cups in it, and I bought 2, so we're going to make 8 cups of soup. Sometimes if I put too many vegetables or something, I add like a cup of water if it's like the flavor's too strong or something, but usually it's fine. So go ahead and add those there. And we're also going to add the can of green beans, the cabbage, and the tomato paste. You don't add the zucchini right away because the zucchini cooks super fast. You kind of put that in at the end, but I'll explain in just a second. So we got that guy, and let's chop up some cabbage. So I usually don't have this much cabbage left over, but this was a really big head of cabbage, so I'll just put that in a bag and save it for next week or whatever I might eat this week. I already put this in there, and as you can see, it's more than enough. So just let that hang out for a bit. It should come to a boil. Just add your tablespoon of tomato paste and your can of green beans, and I'll show you guys that right now. pretty much in there. I'm just gonna let this come to a boil, let it simmer for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna start chopping up my zucchini to put it in there once after it's been simmering for 5 minutes. Like I mentioned, the zucchini just cooks down really quick, and we don't want it to dissolve in there, so I'm gonna put this in. So I decided to not use the celery just because I want to use it as a snack this week, and the soup already has plenty of vegetables in there. It's already very hearty, so I just nixed the celery. If you want to use the celery, go for it. I encourage it, but I just want to use it for something else. All right, people, we are simmering, we are boiling, looking good. So let that go for a couple more minutes. I already chopped up my zucchini. I like to chop it like this. You can make it smaller if you want. I just like kind of like big chunks of vegetables in my soup. I don't know why. That's, like I said, just my personal preference. Now, I know this is not the most attractive looking soup, and I completely understand that. But I promise you, it's super, super good. I make a big bowl of this vegetable soup every week. I love having it for my lunch. I usually pair it with like a little sandwich that I make with one of my Olay Extreme Wellness wraps. And I like to keep my lunch low point because, you know, we like to go down at dinner. So, yeah, I'm probably going to let this simmer for a few minutes more. And then add the zucchini, let that go for another 5 minutes, and then be done. And store it away and have a great side dish for the entire week. All right, so this is just about done. And the way I personally know it's done is if you grab the zucchinis, you see how you can they almost become translucent in the middle and you can see the little seeds. That's the sign of a cooked and soft zucchini. So I just turn off the heat and I let this chill for like an hour or so, just because I don't have a glass container to put it away in. I know, I need to get on that. And I put them in these like larger plastic containers just to kind of, so I can pour myself a little bit throughout the week. So I leave that there, let it hang out, and I'm going to make the rest of my meal prep for the week. But I won't bore you guys with that. If you are interested in seeing how I do my meal preps, let me know. I'm excited to make more videos. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. So if you watched the whole way through, thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, this is my first video, so I'm kind of nervous, and you know, it's like, is anybody even watching? Is there anyone out there? I don't know. So this is my 0-point soup. If I did anything wrong, I'm sorry. This is just how I make it. I am not a professional chef. I do enjoy cooking. I have been feeding myself for years, so I feel like I know what I'm doing somewhat. So yeah, if you give it a try, let me know. Or if you make any little tweaks, let me know. I would love to hear about it. And thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you.